I've been in business for 50 years. Seriously, 50 years I've been in business, since 21. I've always been in what I would call a leadership position. Some of it was an opportunity that I earned, and sometimes I just took it. And now as I age, I'm in a transition. I still have a lot of respect for the game of business and how tough it is for people out in the business world to continue to keep their confidence. Because there's a lot of people that are out of work. There's lost souls. There's health issues, lost jobs, no hope, depression. More and more people are asking me for advice. So today I'm going to give you some advice. I've been in all those situations. I've had highs and lows. I've had 7 different careers. I've had ups and downs in relationships. But where I really take a lot of pride through my experience and my knowledge is dealing with people, understanding people, and raising 3 kids. I'm one of 11 children, and we're all alive. And we were all brought up differently. What I mean by that is we all had different educations. We had different friends. We had different ages, of course, so that meant we were in different life cycles. We experienced different things. Now it's all coming to a head. Now that my father is on his 100th year of life, I picked up a lot from my mother and my father. I'm a very ambitious, driving, motivated type of a guy, and not always confident, but I'm very curious about life, and I'm very curious about extending my life and passing on whatever I've learned to others. So with all these questions, I've dealt with people in the past couple days at 73, 82, 65, 40s, and so on. And every one of them are individual people. This is excluding business owners and private equity and organizations that need strategy. And people underestimate the power of people, what they can do for business, to grow it, to not grow it, to be aggressive, to be complacent, or content. So let's talk a little bit about, I asked my son, my oldest son, who's in his 40s, I said, Luke, tell me something. And this is basically over the phone. He lives in Wisconsin, I live in Florida, and I says, Luke, I'm getting all these calls, I'm on YouTube, and I want to help people. Help them with their psyche, their confidence, getting out of that funk, giving them hope. I said, Luke, what did you carry from me through your life, through your career, through your education, through your business, through your leadership, and so on? And I definitely thought he was going to say, Dad, you pushed education. You were big on education. Thank you very much. But no. He talked about something that my father taught me. And I carried that on to him. And he recognized it. First of all, my father's an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. My son and his wife are entrepreneurs. So they had to be leaders. They had to be knowledgeable. They had employees. They had to make big decisions. They had to pay the bills, plus their parents. So I said, what were the top 3? He goes, Dad, number 1 was integrity. that hit me in my head each time. Integrity. Integrity is basically doing the right thing when no one else is watching. That was good to hear because that's how I look at him. And I'm proud of him and his wife and his family. Number 2, he said, Dad, the other thing that you taught me were take the high road. No matter how hard it is, you take the high road. He gave me an example. He said, we could have 29 employees that are happy and we're doing all the right things. And there might be one that may not be happy and could disrupt the whole organization, the whole teamwork, the whole vision. That's hard because you don't feel it's fair, you don't feel it's the right thing, but sometimes you have to make that tough decision and get in that foxhole and take care of the mass of the people, and let go of problems. Really hard to do, especially if it's financial. And the consequence is financial, and it could hurt the business, it could hurt the family, it could hurt the employees, it could disrupt the whole thing. So you have integrity, you have take the high road in big decisions. And number 3 is what my father taught me in business. The people come first at all times. So when you put the 3 together, integrity, take the high road, the people come first. It's awesome. It's awesome because you don't have to worry about fraud. You don't have to worry about lies. You don't have to worry about hurting people. Because bottom line, you're going to get hurt as a leader. And as a leader, you have to take the punches. But you got to still act and move forward. You know, when we were kids, they used to say, what was it, sticks and stones? There's a lot of adversity as being a leader, but it's only a few. The people that respect you and trust you are going to stick with you. And that's another one that my father would say. Colors show. Colors show is basically after someone's been with you and then there's some type of betrayal or something like that. But I look at it in a couple other ways, because we would try to, at our family business, we would develop people to be able to grow. If they decided, you know, it's better for me to leave, start up my own business, raise my own family, or I have to move out of state and look for better opportunity, I get that. I get that. You wish them luck, you pray for them, you help them in the transition, because nothing's easy. Video is basically to help people understand that it's normal to feel lost, no matter what age. And as I age, I get to the point where, what's next, Elfie? What's my next step? Am I relevant anymore? Just the fact that I get calls and people ask me, Rock, help me. This is the best way I can help people, because I can't really address everybody. I can't address everybody, but I could tell you what I did. And now I have my son telling me, and I got some calls into some other people, clients and friends that will be honest with me and say, hey, Rock, this is how you helped me. Or these are the tips that you gave me, and you inspired me. But it's not easy. Pick the right horse. Make sure you pick the right company to work for so you could learn. Make sure you pick the right spouse that you're going to have children with, if you're going to have children. I believe in God, and God has helped me tremendously, but there's no way I could have told you that I would have been active and relevant and still motivated and ambitious at 71. And if I could help other people with stories like this and the truth like this, if I could do it, you can do it. And it's tough out there, man, especially if there's a broken family, or if there's a divorce, or if people don't like each other. It's the worst thing if you don't have relationships in your own family, because you can't do anything alone. And if you don't trust your employer, or you don't believe in their vision, you got to move on, man. And it's tough to let go of the past and move into another situation. I've had 7 careers, and I've been asked to leave companies because I was too aggressive, too ambitious. So guess what? I had to go do it alone and do my own thing. And then I brought in my own people, and they were independent, but we worked it out. It's like being a world champion in hockey or baseball or soccer or wrestling. I remember people telling me how tough boxing is. But you know, once you get into that 20 range, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, your life is really changing, man. And you got to be careful of the addictions and the temptations and the sins that are out there. God, it's hard. It's hard because the temptations they're very strong. So I want to thank my son for sharing that with me, because he had to think this through. Because I was on a phone call, he was driving to see my father from Milwaukee to St. Paul, and I'm here in Florida. He says, Luke, in fact, I was on my way to an MRI. When you get older, you got to start looking at this, that, medications, and so on. You wish that you could have all the health, that someday when you do retire, you're going to be at peace. It doesn't happen that way. That's why I always talk about bringing joy, because I had mentors that would say to me, Rock, always bring joy. Why bring negativity or a crisis to the elderly? Don't you think they got their own problems? Yeah. So he would remind me, Rock, when you go see your mother and your father, when you visit them, just bring joy. Don't bring them headaches. Don't bring them something, because your parents, my father especially, love a crisis. He would love a crisis so he could solve it for you. No. You got to solve your own problems, man. I'm not here to get you down. I'm saying, listen, no matter where you are, either ambitious, content, complacent, depressed, transition of, let's call it reinventing yourself, you have to adapt. So I'm talking to you. This is one-on-one. It's not going through anybody else. But look at the generation, my father, my mother, to me, my brothers and sisters, to the business, to leadership, to my children, to my grandchildren, because I'm the role model, just like you are, to your kids and to your family. You're the leader of your home. So make it happen. Focus on integrity. Focus on leadership. Focus on knowing that you are in charge of your destiny. Take the high road, even though it hurts and it's going to cost you money. Let it go, because you'll feel so much better after it's over. You let it go, you move on. And then the people come first. Now, what I mean by the people? Your family, your children, your parents, respect, your employees. Bottom line is, do the right thing. I want to bring you joy. And that's the best way for me to do it, is just to be honest and trustworthy, to say, listen, you can do this. You can be a happy person by doing those 3 things. Guaranteed. And then in the meantime, you got your own problems. You got another transition. You got to find another purpose. What is your purpose? I believe at my age, at 71, God's got another plan for me. Don't know what it is. I can't tell you. My son's 47. He's still struggling. Dad, what's next? I can't tell you. That's where you got to pray to God, and opportunities happen, especially for good people that are looking for them. You got to be listening. You got to be open. And the more people you talk to, the more opportunity you get, and the more you give back. People realize that. That's called love. Okay? So I'll let you go now. I'll talk to you soon. Rock LaManna. Always bring joy.